in our case, word meaning, right? Tree, I'm looking outside the window at a tree. Tree is tree just because it is, right? By convention. But a growing number of people were saying, no, hang on a minute here. Actually, there's a motivated reason for why some words sound like what they mean, right? Take the Japanese. Doki doki. Doki doki. This word means excited but nervous. The reason it means that is because of the reference it makes to the heartbeat, right? When you're really excited but nervous, your heart goes doki doki, doki doki, right? And so that is, as it were, translated into Japanese sounds, right? So the word sounds very Japanese, but there's a non-arbitrary relationship between the sound of doki doki and the heartbeat, and therefore the meaning of a state, a mental state, that an emotional state even, that you're in when your heart is going flutter, flutter in that way, right? Doki doki. Okay, so these words are called mimetics or idiophones. Mimetics because they mimic sounds, and idiophones, it was a term coined in by Africanists, and it's sort of the idea, right, and the sound in a sense, right, together. Okay, so it's alleged to be a non-arbitrary class of words. That's an empirical question. Are they non-arbitrary? We're going to test that in this presentation. And yeah, they arose out of many separate traditions of linguistic fieldwork in West Africa, Southeast Asia, Japanese fieldwork, introspection, etc., on their own language, in South America, which is also something I'll come back to. And lab work also started to look at these, but much later, including in this presentation. Okay. A parallel development related to sound symbolism is this effect I'm sure you've heard of called the buba qui-qui effect, right? So just to spell it out, you see these two shapes here, this one and this one, right? One sort of round, amoeboid, this one's rather jagged, almost like, say, broken glass. Which one is qui-qui? Which one is buba? Well, overall, in most of the world's languages, in many lab experiments, most people will tell you that the jagged one is qui-qui and the round one is buba. And you can already see I'm imitating this with my mouth, right? And buba, right? That there's a non-arbitrary cross-modal correspondence between the shape and the sound. Okay, so you can already see that this is a parallel and interesting tradition, right? Related to sound symbolism in linguistic fieldwork. So these pseudo words, actually originally maluma and tekete, were thought up by Köhler, a Gestalt psychologist, and he went to Tenerife for a nice holiday, but also to test this out. Later, these shapes were rebranded as Kiki and Buba by the Ramachandran and Hubbard experiment, which is where it gets most of its fame from today. Very interesting, fascinating, was the basis also for my MA work. But it's not very naturalistic, is it? We get these shapes and we give them names and then we just test this, run a battery of tests with people across the world. Okay, it's interesting if you do it cross-culturally, but, you know, these aren't real words. That's where the idiophones come in, right? This parallel tradition. These are real words that have evolved in the language. Let's put them together. Let's do lab work a la Kiki Buba, but with naturalistic words, with idiophones.